Good afternoon, my people. Today is December 25th, and Pierre speaks. Um, it is a Christmas afternoon, and because I don't celebrate the holiday, I still would like to wish everyone a great and fantastic and healthy day to all, your family and loved ones. And today, I just wanted to take the time to get in here and just speak a little bit about some things, mostly just health-related things as I am prone to do, since that is my field of study and expertise. But today, what prompted me was I was thinking about one of the things that kind of got me on this path, so to speak. And one of the things was it was this Hippocrates quote that I came across some years ago, and it goes like this: a wise man will consider that the greatest of human blessings is health. And it's I'm paraphrasing here. It's extended, but it goes longer than that. But that was the part that definitely stood out to me, and I thought about how that relates to everything we do today. And this was obviously a quote that's so ancient. But it still is very relevant in everything that we do today. I am a strong believer that you are your most important resource. And I hear people deferring from that on a daily basis. And that's one of the things that I plan to, in my business and my scope, to just trying to relate to people, because it's easy to forget about ourselves. And once we do that, it's easy to take energy from ourselves and give energy away. And once we do that, we let ourselves and our life forces ebb down and ebb very low. I was definitely an abuser of this in my past years. I've learned how to definitely alter this and keep a lot for myself, to be a lot more selfish than I was before. And some people will probably maybe raise an eyebrow to say that, huh? But yeah, I do think that being selfish is something that we have to learn to do. Giving is a fantastic thing, but some of us do have we do have a tendency to not be able to cap our giving, and that in itself can be problematic, because again, we do have limits. And again, once we reach our threshold, our bodies, our mental capacities can take a hit. And mine certainly did. I came crashing down. I had a breakdown. I had a physical breakdown. I had a mental breakdown, and things didn't go well. And my body manifested all the physical things that told me internally I was taking on too much, or I was giving too much. So So, and this was all without having what I would consider for most people to be optimal stressors and things that you can output to, like children. And I don't have any children, but children will definitely tax you in the amount of giving that you are prone to do. And I understand children take a lot of time and children take a lot of investment, but nevertheless, we still need to save some for ourselves. And I hear religiously people say, my kids come first, my kids come first. And this is, while I understand the premise of that statement, it's a very flawed statement. Because if you give everything unto your kids and you give until you cannot give anymore, it's over. And then they're you can't give anymore. It would seem to be much more beneficial and efficient to give up until a point, refresh, give up until a point, refresh, give up into a point. And this way you can continue to give and to continue to give and continue to give over time. It's almost like that old adage of teaching a man how to fish instead of just giving him fish, or however that old saying goes. But teach a man to fish and he'll eat forever, as opposed to just giving, feeding him. And that's how I tend to look at that. You give a little, you taper off, give a little more, taper off, give a little more. You just have to save some any type of way you can. And I know it's difficult, but that's the thing. You have to learn to cap your giving, and there are ways you can do that. And these are in the form of outlets, and we have to have healthy outlets for ourselves. And this isn't the unhealthy ones like that people tend to indulge in, like overeating, drinking, drugs, and things like that. But there are definitely things you can do, like breathing, exercising, meditating, tai chi, qigong, yoga, anything like that. Exercising, sports, hobbies, painting, being creative, anything like that. Anything to get you motivated in some sort of way to offset that. And it's a rejuvenating process. And these are all things that you can do to offset those that giving, and it will refresh you. And in the meantime, these people will start to get the message and learn that, hey, maybe I need to start fending for myself in certain regards, or if they're not children. I understand children, they're and children can also learn from this too, but not very babies and things like that. But older children can definitely start to learn, hey, well, maybe children who are old enough to go make a meal for themselves don't have to have mommy and dad go make a meal for them every time they need to eat. Things like that, where they have to start recognizing things and becoming self-sufficient. And this is how you can perhaps start to wean them. So yeah, but I'm a strong proponent of things like this. And I really hate to hear people say that, and it's not like I intercede when I hear it or go to tell people, but I do talk to people about it and try to redirect and give them some insight on it, and tell them, look, if you aren't worth a damn, let's say your health isn't worth a damn, you're imploding, how good are you to your kids? What more can you do to your kids? How can you enrich your kids any further? Your kids have to look to other places. Your kids have to look ultimately to places that you may not have approved of. You may be laid up somewhere in a hospital or some sort of assisted living or something like that. Who knows? And they may be with, they may have to look to the streets, or some family member or somebody that you just did not approve of, and that's where they had to go. And they're getting information that you felt like, gosh, that's not the rearing that I wanted them to get, and but that's what I'm saying. You have to look at inside yourself as being the source, because all things, if you feel like you're good, if you feel like you're a good influence, then all things go and come from you, and they go out to the world. So you have to be staunch in what you're giving. So if you're putting out if you're gonna just blow yourself out, that's no good to your kids, And I think you need to be a portal, and a healthy portal. So let's look deeper into the things that we're saying, because I just had a conversation with someone at work, and she asked me about because one of the things I did when I started to make the changes I've made, was stop. I reprogrammed myself with eating, and one of the things was I stopped saying, "Oh, I love this food and I love that food," and I ridded myself of being in love with food. And she asked me, did I think I was thinking too deeply into it? And I told her absolutely not, because I think these things are attached to the subconscious, and uh, of course, the subconscious is we don't. You can do these things and you can make these snap decisions, from the subconscious without thinking about it. And I don't think she understood that, but she looked at it as, oh, you're just thinking too deeply about it. And I was like, okay, but here you are, you just met me, you're complaining about losing 40 pounds that you've probably been complaining about for however many years, and yet you're still eating in front of me several things that you told yourself that you didn't want to eat. So I mean, here's several bad habits that you couldn't control you couldn't necessarily control yourself from stopping the indulgence in. So I'm just saying, I don't think it's a thinking too deeply thing. I think it's a willingness and having the will to do it. And if you want to, you have to start somewhere. And I think some of those things are rooted and attached to the subconscious, and you have to get a hold on that. And I felt like for me it was there. If I kept having this unhealthy relationship with food, telling myself I was in love with it, and it never told me anything back. I mean, and it doesn't stop with food, it's with anything. Having a one-way relationship with an inanimate object is unhealthy as hell. And so I made the conscious effort to stop that. And this is something that any person that I sit with and any person that I might mentor in some kind of way, this is one of the first things that I would tell them is, let's work on having two-way relationships that can flourish, because there's no flourishing from a one-way relationship. So, but yeah, I think that's where I'm going to end there, and that was just kind of my food for thought for today. Maybe a little bit of affirmation in there as well. And again, I hope you're having a great day with your people. And Pierre spoke today, and he'll speak again very soon. Hope to see you in the virtual world and out in the physical world as well. You take care, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.